had been sleeping in pain being at camp, but I've been getting a ton of questions about not only the vaccine and the Delta variant too. And I actually just posted all my stories the other day. If people would be interested in me hosting like a live Q&A with the pharmacist, more to hopefully just get non-judgmental, calm, accurate, reliable information. So I had a really enlightening conversation with my husband yesterday, and that's why I feel the need to do this video. I think if you're in the healthcare profession, you understand why the vaccine is so important and why the variants are able to be created. I think if you're not in the healthcare profession, I think we're all doing a really crappy job of getting accurate information to you and getting accurate information that is easy to understand. I was talking to Steve and asking him, like, do you understand why the vaccines are so important to prevent, like, the Delta variant from spreading? Do you understand how the Delta variant even started or why it's here? And he was like, he was lost. So I think that's probably par for the course for a lot of people. So I wanted to just explain this very simply, because as the Delta variant spikes, I'm getting a lot of messages in my inbox about, why should I get vaccinated? A lot of people who are asking, I have COVID, should I get the vaccine? I feel like I probably have antibodies for it. Another question I'm getting a lot of is, with the Delta variant, if I got infected, do I need it? And then another two questions are, I'm young, I'm healthy, I'm not going to get sick, so why do I need it? And I'm going to kind of answer all those questions. And then again, like I said, please feel free to leave anything in the comments. My husband, I'm not going to say what political stance he has, but listening to the news, I realized that there's a lot of biases in the news and a lot of unreliable information. So I'm going to try to break it down and really simply, even like draw a picture, so that I'm getting the right information to you guys really easily. So as you guys know, the Delta variant has evolved. So right now we have 4 different variants that are circulating that are predominant. And when I asked, like, Steve, I'm like, do you know how variants are made? So it's not as easy as I thought. So the variants are made basically when the virus is able to infect more and more people. So in order for a mutation to be created, the virus needs a host, right? The virus can't live by itself. So essentially, it needs a body, whether it's you or I. I'm going to put up my window, my neighbor's doing the lawn. The body needs either you or I to replicate, right? It can't replicate by itself. So, we have, say this is like all of the U.S., all these little dots and people. The virus can basically, when we were all unvaccinated, the virus could just continue to circle. Every time it circles, every time it hits our body, it's giving more of a chance for the virus to mutate, more of a chance to the virus to produce a variant. So if in an ideal world we all got vaccinated in a timely fashion, we would all, that the efficacy of the 95% would still stand true for the virus, and the virus would have died. So had we all gotten, it's basically a race of time versus the virus. So had we all got vaccinated, like 80% of us, the virus would not have had hosts, which were our live hosts. It wouldn't have bodies to replicate. Once it replicates, each time it replicates in one of our bodies, it gives it a chance to mutate, which is how these variants come about. So if we had all gotten vaccinated, 80% of us, there would have been no bodies essentially for the virus to mutate in. So that being said, each time a variant is created, or each time there's more time that goes on that people are unvaccinated, we have more and more risk of a variant being created. So we kind of took now the amount of people that the variant can infect, or COVID can infect, and halved it, but we still have enough people that it's in people's bodies replicating and making mutations. Okay, so a little bit of facts about the Delta variant is that it's 4 times more contagious than the original COVID strand. Another thing is, I'm getting a lot of questions like, I got vaccinated, why can I get the Delta variant? The reason you can get the Delta variant is because, quite frankly, with each mutation, the vaccine is going to be less and less effective, right? They made the vaccine based off of the available variant strands that we have, and each time it mutates, the vaccine is going to be less and less effective, unfortunately, which is why it's like time versus the vaccine, right? So with the numbers, Delta has more of a chance of spreading in unvaccinated populations, essentially. So again, it's 4 times as contagious, and unfortunately now vaccinated people can get it. However, here's some stats. If you got Moderna or Pfizer, the chances of you getting it are 12%. So instead of 100%, it's 12%. The likelihood of you being in the hospital or getting hospitalized for this is about 90%. Those are pretty good stats. We're finding that most people who are hospitalized and dying are unvaccinated, which is a shame. Now take J&J, which has the different mechanism of action through the adenovirus. That is only 60% effective against the Delta strand, and then still pretty good 90% of people vaccinated, or 90% of people, avoiding hospitalization or getting really sick. So again, there's 12% of you getting infected with the Delta variant with the vaccine for Moderna or Pfizer, and about 40% with J&J, which is pretty significant. Some people are symptomatic, some people aren't. So the reason why people need to get this virus, or the vaccine, is so that the virus can stop mutating. So if you're unvaccinated, you have the virus is basically as a host for it to continue to mutate and to spin out. We also know that if you are, people keep asking, like, if I had COVID, do I need it? Yes, you do, because we don't really understand why, that when you get the actual vaccine, that it produces more neutralizing antibodies, which are essentially stops and blocks the virus from infecting your cells, and it actually prevents you from getting infected. Because the neutralizing antibodies are there, then when you go to somebody else, you can't spread it. So essentially, why people need to get vaccinated, regardless if they've had COVID, if they're young and healthy, and don't think they'd rather get COVID than get the vaccine, is a couple of reasons. You produce higher neutralizing antibodies, so the chances of you getting the virus are significantly less. And then in addition, we have to try to get as many people vaccinated. Yes, there's a chance that you could still get the Delta variant, but however, it gives less chance for the virus to mutate, which if it continues to mutate, we're going to be shit out of luck, and the vaccine's going to be less efficacious. Also, I think, we know even if you're asymptomatic with COVID, you can have a huge amount of inflammatory damage to your heart, to your lungs, to your brain, that we still don't know a lot about, and we're not seeing that with the vaccine. And so I think it's more of doing your part, preventing it from mutating it further. If you present it with the virus, you have less chance of spreading it. And then, of course, there's a lot of long-standing inflammatory damage that we know that does happen with the virus, that we are not seeing with the vaccine. Oh, perfect timing. Hadley's up. Any questions, let me know. I just felt compelled to kind of break it down a little bit more simply for people. Hopefully that helps somebody who's on the fence.